can hear me, right?
We can hear you. Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right. So happy Saturday, guys. Welcome to Saturday training. We do this every Saturday at 11 a.m. We do it only for an hour. Guys, we don't have to do this, but all of the leaders came together to do this because we're so busy in the field on the days that we're running. We took out some time to reach back and pull you guys up so that you know exactly what you need to do to have success week to week. I mean, we're literally giving you all the answers. We're telling you exactly what you need to do so that you can change your financial future. So, guys, you know, we always kick the call off with recognition, people, you know, who had their first hire, first sale, or passed their exams. And guys, just some housekeeping rules. Please keep your speech at a minimum, all right? For you guys who are being recognized, only a minute. Talk about why you're excited and how you did what you did. We absolutely appreciate and we're excited for everybody on here that's getting recognized because you guys, that it's a huge milestone because once you do something one time, you can do it again, all right? So let's dive in. The first sale, the first person I want to highlight, Patricia Williams. We are so excited about you. Great job, Patricia. Are you on? Going once, going twice. Congratulations, Patricia. Next is, I saw him on here, Lewis Malone. Lewis Malone also got his first sale. Congratulations. Lewis, do we have you on? I could have sworn I saw him on here. Going once. He is on here. All right, maybe he can't hear. All right, you just missed it. But congratulations. All right, next, David Germain. Unmute yourself. Congratulations. David Germain got his first sale. Do we have David on here?
Yeah, you can hear me, Queen?
Yay! Hello.
Yeah, hello.
We can hear you.
I'm out here. Sorry, I'm out here driving too. I'm like doing 100. Sorry. It's okay. I'm telling on myself.
Congratulations.
Thank you. To God be the glory. As long as you are, I got my lead on a CRM. I think it was a 3-month-old lead. And thanks to Kali and the leadership and people like yourself, I learned the script and then I was able to book the appointment, sat with the client. They had some medical issues and they were very thankful that we were able to find something to get her approved to give to her 3 grandkids. So the work that we're really doing is very important, guys. You know, the people are really depending on us to help bring generational wealth to their families and a legacy to their families.
Perfect. Congratulations. Great job. We're excited for you. I know we'll see you next week. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, we have Josh Forrest. I think I said his last name right. Josh did his first sale. I believe he's in Jersey. Is Josh on here? Going once, going twice. Great job, Josh. Next, we have Eric Jackson. Eric Jackson closed his first sale. Do we have Eric Jackson on here today? Going once, going twice. Congratulations, Eric. Next, we have Danielle. A lot of people that got getting recognized. It's exciting. Danielle, are you on? Going once, going twice. All right, next we're going to move into the first hire. All right, these 2 people actually got their first hire this past week, which is very exciting. That means they're on their way to building an agency. And, you know, we'll talk a little bit about that later. But the first person I want to highlight is Kiera Webster. Kiera did her first hire. Are you on? Going once, going twice. All right, congratulations, girlfriend. And then the next person we have is Velma Greenlee. Is Velma Greenlee on? She also got her first hire. Going once, going twice. All right, so next I want to shift into the people who actually passed their exam. This is very exciting, guys, because you're not officially in the business until you are licensed and certified in whatever state that you live in. So these two people made no excuses and got done. The first person I want to highlight is Devin. Devin passed her exam. Devin, are you on? Going once, going twice. Congratulations. And then Jerwan. Jerwan also passed his exam this morning, which is exciting. Right before the call. Congratulations. Jerwan, are you on? All right, going once, going twice. All right, guys, congratulations to everybody that got recognized. Again, we are so excited for you. Just some announcements and updates before we bring our guest speaker on. The first thing I definitely want to go over, guys, is work spots. If you are not on work spots, you need to get on work spots. If you don't know what work spots is, reach out to your manager. Guys, it is so resourceful. And I don't know if you guys are not on work spots, you didn't get the discount codes that have been given out so that you can actually get discounts on the CRM leads. So please download WorkSpots. This will also give you an opportunity just for $99 a month. That's it, $99 a month. All right. And keep it on, guys, because then if you need an office to work out of somewhere close to you and by you, you can actually plug into your nearest office. And because you have work spots, you can actually reserve a workspace so that you can dial and have success on your run days. All right. And also in your business, you have access to free Wi-Fi. The list goes on. All right. So get with your manager. If you don't have work spots, you need to get it. You'll save a ton of money. All right. Not only on workspace, but also your leads so that you can go out and close business. All right. And then the next thing I want to talk about, guys, is a huge reminder. Please get out your notebooks and your pens and pads, wherever you put your information down. Please remember, we do give out tools so that you guys can have success. And then it's free. So use it. And we see a lot of people just not using these tools, and you're wondering why you're not having the success you're having is because you're not plugged in. And what does plugged in mean? We have Zooms going on almost every other day, guys, so that you can jump on and learn how to book your day from the best of. But you can also get on there, and if you're dialing, you can actually have us listen to you to help you, or your manager to help you, so that you can understand if you're even saying the right things. Because sometimes, guys, it's just that one little word or that one little thing that you're saying that's making the biggest difference in your business and the reason why you're not closing or why you're not getting to that appointment. All right. We also do the sales calls, guys. You want to plug into the sales call. We have our top producers and leaders who are literally giving out the blueprint on what you need to do to have success. So you do not want to miss the sales call, guys. And if you don't know where this information is, if somebody can go ahead and post the FFL Hub link, that's where you can find all the recordings, all the podcasts, the list of our Zoom calls and training so that you can be plugged in. All right. If you're not plugged in, you're not going to have success. All right. And then also, guys, if you are a leader and you're licensed and you are writing numbers week to week, please make sure that you submit your numbers every Wednesday. All right. And actually, guys, I would recommend Tuesday night. They're due Wednesday morning before 8:30. But we all know how busy everyone is in the morning. So do your posts at night before you go to bed every Tuesday night. Post your numbers for Wednesday so that we can have an up-to-date head count of all the real numbers of what everybody is doing.
It's Thursday morning.
That's right. You're absolutely right. Thursday morning. Thank you. That's why you're my super. Guys, sorry. Thursday morning. My apologies. All right. Thursday morning. But you get the point. We actually post out the reminders. Please, guys, we are on Telegram. That's where we post all of our updates. You do not want to miss anything. So the only way for us to get out a message that's important to everyone, all right, at once, to make it easy on us, is to put it in Telegram. So if you're not plugged in, if you don't understand something, you need to be plugged in. It's very, very, very important. Okay, that's it for my rant, guys. Oh, no, I'm not. Sorry. Guys, you do want to register for convention. Convention is coming up. It is 2022. Get it done now. Get it out the way. All right, guys, register for convention. All the leaders that you see here on Telegram posting, all right, every day posting numbers. Guys, that didn't happen by accident. It happened. The biggest part of it was convention. A lot of leaders came back and exploded. Look at Thad and Ryan, guys. I know you see their names all the time, and I always talk about them. Not only are they best friends, they're partners in business. All right, but these guys made a decision after being police officers full-time with kids, with a family. They went to a convention, I think a couple conventions ago, right? It hasn't been that long. And since then, they've been averaging $40,000 to $50,000 a month coming from $40,000 to $50,000 a year. And I think everybody on this call could use $40,000 to $50,000 a month. Am I right? You don't have to say, yes, I can already hear you. Exactly. So you have to do the things that you're not comfortable with so you can actually be comfortable in the things that you want to do, guys. So you got to do the things that are uncomfortable, guys. Being comfortable and success don't sleep in the same bed. All right. So get uncomfortable and go get it done. All right. And the register convention will be posted in Telegram. All right. So just look out for that. And I'm going to turn it over to our senior vice president. She is going to highlight our guest speaker. I'm extremely blessed to work alongside of her. Like-minded individuals, you are who you hang around. And, you know, if you hang around Kali, you're going to have success if you go to work. So, Kali, take it away.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Congratulations to all the first-time hires, the first-time sale, and then the people that passed their test. Congratulations again. That's a start. You got to start somewhere. So we have a very special lady again this week. She is all the way in Reno, Nevada. So she had to get up extra early this morning, and she went in the office specifically so she could get on the call and have her FFL background going. And it's funny because, you know, I don't think everybody comes here, you know, for the insurance part of the business. But as a result, you end up developing friendships with the people that you meet. And so me and this lady have over the last, I don't know, year or so, had developed a friendship. And her team name is FFL, and I love this team name, FFL Hustle and Heart. She's a platinum producer with FFL. Yola, you're gonna have to tell everybody what a platinum producer is, because I'm not that. I think it might be 50,000 issue paid personally in a month, but she can correct me if I'm wrong. She has a small team she's building, but she's licensed in 31 states, and she travels where the leads are. She runs in California, Nevada, and Idaho currently. I know me and her were talking the night before last, and she said that she's going to be in Massachusetts running, I think, in July. So she's coming all the way across the country to go where the leads are to run business. So she's a superstar in the business, platinum producer. I'm so thankful again that she's my friend, and she's, you know, we had the pleasure of her taking the time out of her schedule to speak to FFL all in about family first. Yola, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, take it away.
Thank you for having me. First of all, yeah, you're gonna make me cry. Your friendship means the world to me, and just meeting you has been so amazing, and it's been a blessing in my life. So I thank you. So thank you guys for having me on. It's a little rainy here in Reno today, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm freezing, but I've got appointments all day, so at least people will be home, right? So a little bit about me. I was actually started out in the casino industry before joining the insurance industry. I was a casino executive where I helped people $50,000 credit lines and above actually come out and gamble to Las Vegas. And that's where I started my career. I lived in Las Vegas for 15 years and kind of got burnt out on the business after being in the industry of the casino industry for so long. I was working 16, 17-hour days. I had no control of my schedule. It really depended on when my gamblers got there. So it just got a little bit too, you know, I was doing too much for what I was getting paid. Let's just put it that way. So I lost my dad in 2015, and thankfully he had life insurance. And that's how I kind of started finding out about the business and the industry, is because it was $30,000 to take my dad back home where he was originally from, which we're from a small country in the Middle East. I'm from Lebanon. So after that, I started really evaluating my options because life was just too short. You know how that is when you lose somebody. And I just, you know, I started looking out there. I had a friend of mine who had left the casino industry and then just come on to insurance. So I tried out a few IMOs before finding family first. I went captive for like 3 months. I couldn't do that. Then I joined another IMO and that wasn't a good fit. And then I found family first. And fast forward to now, I've been with the company for about a year and 6 months. So I am a platinum producer, and Kali, just to just to correct you a little bit, I wish platinum was 50. I'm at 30,000. I hover anywhere between $30,000 to $35,000 a month. I work full time. Obviously, this is all I do. So I'm building as I go. I mentor a small team of agents right now. So I do travel. I travel in 3 different states right now. I have Idaho, I have California, and I have Nevada on a full time. But I started out in telesales too, so I was able to get a lot of states. And I decided that once I joined FFL, it was a great opportunity for me to, just travel for a living, see what else was out there. And it's been a real blessing in my life. I'm open to any questions, anything you guys would like to ask me. We're kind of keeping it non-formal
Yola,
today, I guess.
Like how I'm sorry, and I'm trying to do I've managed the Zoom, make sure everybody's on mute and all that kind of stuff. So did you say how long you've been with Family First? I might have missed it.
Yeah, about a year and a half. You would say, give or take. Yeah, I started August of 2019 is my first year. So
okay. And what do you think what's the most important part of this business that someone needs to learn?
Aside from, well, the most important part is mindset. I struggled with imposter syndrome, just like there are a lot of us, right? Like when you start making this type of money.
I've never heard that before. Imposter syndrome?
Yeah, imposter syndrome is when you feel like you don't really accomplish, like people are giving you something and you're a phony or a fraud for getting the success that you're getting. Does that make sense? Like you always don't believe yourself almost, but everybody else believes it.
Yeah,
so you have to kind of convince yourself and your mindset that this is what I'm doing. And I am a life insurance agent. I go out and I help people. Like it's a mindset. And that was very important for me to have that turnaround, because when you're first starting out, it's like, oh, what are they going to think about me? What are they going to judge me by? What are they going to think now? And after that, it kind of comes full circle.
Right. Okay. And outside of that mindset, what's next? Like what skill is the most important?
I would say just, getting on the phones and getting out there. Just don't be afraid to go out there and just try it. A lot of us this is a brand new business for a lot of us. We're all coming from different fields and different industries. I don't think anybody's been in insurance for, and if they haven't been with FFL. So this is a whole new experience, and get out there and just work. It's not hard. What we do isn't hard, you guys. It's not brain surgery. You go out there and you hustle.
Okay, I was sorry to take you off mute. And then let me think what other questions you have. What questions do we have for Yola? Like Yola, what I think people are looking for like the secret sauce. You know what I mean? And so what do you think? What would be there? I mean, there's no secret, right? No,
there really isn't a secret. I think the biggest secret I can tell you is get plugged in. Immerse yourself with FFL. Know your purpose of why you're trying to do this, and just get plugged into your upline, get plugged into your for people that you look up to in the industry. And that's what's helped me like 100% of the time is, reaching out to my mentor. Frank is my upline. So I have a close relationship with Frank and we work well. And it's like, these people are invested in your success. So everybody's going to have failures that they're going to do in this business. You're going to fall, but as long as you know where to reach out and have that structure, it's not hard. It's just, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? And we're looking to make these types of money. It's almost disrespectful to think that we're not going to have some trials and tribulations, right? Like you're not making $30,000, $40,000 a month without actually going out there and asking for it, because nobody else in the world is going to give you this, right? You're going to have to go out there and get it.
Right, absolutely. Tell us, Yola, what's your I guess we turn this into an interview. What is your schedule like on a daily basis? What's your lead, like where are you getting your leads from? Like what's your lead sources? How many appointments are you running weekly? Because you said you're full time, so what does that look like?
Okay, thank you for asking. That's a good question. I should have gone over that. So right now I do, like I said, 3 different states because I'm in an area, you guys, that's still developing. I'm in Reno, Nevada. So Reno is a little bit smaller than Vegas, but there's about 5 counties here. So I have all 5 counties kind of blocked out, and I get about 30 to 40 leads a week from that. And then I have California, which is a lot bigger industry, it's a lot bigger of an area. So I rotate now between California and Reno mostly, and then I go up to Idaho at least once a month as well, because I have direct mail leads up there as well. And I have retro for mortgage protection. I have call-ins for Reno. So anybody that calls in for mortgage protection, I have those as well. My average day, I wake up early just because you have to get your mind right. So I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I also have agents on the East Coast. So I start usually getting phone calls about 5 or 6 my time. So, but I love what we do. So it's never work when you're doing it, but there is a structure that I have to do in order for me to be successful throughout the day, right? You have my prayers and my meditation are my very first things that I do as soon as I wake up. My gratitude, all of that stuff. And then when you get to the work part of it, if it's dial day, I'm at the office by 7:38 or I'm dialing by 7:38. I usually will book in the morning till probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I'm usually recruiting in the back and in the afternoon. Now, if it's run day, my run days are I dial Monday for Tuesday and Wednesday. I dial Thursday for Friday and Saturday, which is the FFL schedule that they tell you. I try to get as close to 30 appointments a week in those 40 days or in those 4 days as possible. But honestly, you guys, I run about 22 to 25 appointments. My average weekly submit is anywhere between 7,800 to, like last week was 16,000. So I kind of range in that, but we all talk about leveling up, right? Like you guys are doing some amazing things with your team. Look at you. Like there's so many people out there. Hello, like I'm just so impressed by the team. You guys can do some really good things out there. So yeah, I mean, and then I do supplement with CRM leads out of the CRM whenever I don't, like I have let's say I only got 40 in the area and there's 20 or 30 in the area in the CRM, I incorporate those as well. So I'm not just primarily CRM. I also run Facebook campaigns, whatever it takes to actually get the lead flow in. I spend anywhere between $1,200 to $1,500 a week on leads consistently. So, I'm able to make those types of numbers. But in order for you to scale, I'm looking at other areas so I can actually scale a little bit more, so I can get to the $40,000-$50,000 a month that we're talking about. The great thing about this business is the more that you give it, the more it's going to give you.
That's right. So I think you want a lot, Yolla. You said so many good key things that I want to make sure that a lot of people caught. Let me turn my camera back on. That I think that I hope a lot of people caught is, number one, there's not that many leads in your area where you live, no. Right? So, I mean, you said 5 counties, and you said in a month there might be 30. You said in a month in 5 counties you might get 30 or 40 leads. Is that what I heard?
In a week, usually a week.
But that's still not a lot for 5 different counties, no, right? And so, and then I would venture to say that because even with the mail being that low, then it means it's probably not a ton of leads in the CRM. Is that also correct?
Yeah, definitely. I grab them whenever I find them.
Okay. And so in order to kind of sustain your business, to stay in business, you've made the decision to get licensed in other states. And so you go and you run where the leads are. Can you talk about really how did you even get that mindset to do that? Right. Because I'm going on my first real official travel trip on Thursday, right? Nice. Going to Ohio. But I've not done it before, and it's it's a little bit scary. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being very honest. Because I had to spend money on airfare, hotel, rental car, leads, you know what I'm saying? And so when it's all said and done, I'm probably gonna end up spending about $2,500 just for that 3 days, right? I haven't even made $1 yet, right? So even at my level, to spend $3,000 and hopefully I get something out of it. But my plan is, while I'm there, I'm going to run 30 appointments in 3 days. So my mindset is, very worst case scenario, I'm going to make my money back. right?
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
worst thing that can happen. Best case
Yeah.
scenario, in 3 days, I make $10,000-$20,000, right? So, but where
Right.
did you get the mindset? Because you said you only been here for a year and a half. You got 31 state licenses. Like, when did you decide that this is what you needed to do to kind of keep yourself in business?
Well, I started out in Las Vegas. So Las Vegas with Andrew Taylor's team and everything that they're doing, I knew that it was just a matter of time before FFL got so big, we were going to have to branch out as far as Vegas. Everybody wanted to be there. So then I started looking at the country as a whole, and I'm like, essentially, yes, I understand what you're saying, but I thought about it as an opportunity. I love like opportunities, adventures, and the fact that I can do this and still write it off as a write-off for tax purposes and stuff. That's what started, my thought process. And then I actually last year wrote business in 7 different states because I was in Chicago in January, which I know you guys are on the East Coast. Never do Chicago in January. It's cold as out there. With that being said, I still made like $18,000 in, I want to say 10 days that I was up there. So then I was like, wait a minute. First of all, it got me uncomfortable because when I'm home and I'm in Vegas, it's easy to run home between appointments and get complacent. It's easy to, miss my husband and want to spend some time and, stuff like that. You kind of get distracted at home. This got me uncomfortable where I have to be away from home. I'm nowhere, like I'm not going to go back to a hotel room. I might as well just make the best out of it, right? So then I started running harder and harder, and I would look at different pockets in the country, and there's so much out there on as far as the CRM, especially more on the East Coast. So you can just go out there, literally pick up 500 600 leads for about $1,000, make your money and come back and not have to worry about it for 3 days. So I made it more of a lifestyle. I would go write business in the city or whatever for 3 days straight, and then I would take 2 days to just kind of see where the local eatery is or the scenery. I love getting to know people from different cultures, different backgrounds, and every state is so different. You start learning things while you're traveling. For instance, I was in Montana last year, and they don't recognize sexes on their driver's licenses. So Montana men and women are the same rating for life insurance, believe it or not. Who knew? Had I not ran business there, like things that you just start finding out about your carriers, because not everybody writes all states. Just you start learning that process. And honestly, it got me uncomfortable to the point where, don't get me wrong, like my anxiety was like, some days I'm like, I'm in a different state. Like, what state am I in? Like, what am I knocking today? But people are people wherever you go. You're going to do your financial inventory. You're going to go through and sit and ask those questions, and you're going to find the results of where they have a gap. Nothing varies from whatever state you're in, aside from the carriers. And like I said, the product's a little bit. It's not hard, you guys. It's just, you think about it like you're in your backyard. It's just a different scenery. And make it an adventure. Make it fun. If it's not fun, then you're not in this for the right reasons. Like, make this fun. This is not supposed to be, yes, it's hard, but at the same time, if you take a couple of days and just really appreciate where you're at, especially after making 20 grand for 2 days, you know what I mean? Like, it puts it all into perspective. We can be doing a lot crappier things with our life.
Very true. And then, hey, I just had something. I forgot. My memory is terrible.
I saw a few questions too, so feel free to.
Yeah, let me see here. So, well, anyone, what other question does people have for Yolla?
I have a question.
Sure.
Hey, Yolla. Okay, so when you're dialing, right, and you're dialing for a 2-day run day, how long are you normally on the phones, and do you know how many dials you normally dial?
I mean, definitely. I have a dial tracker.
Like on average?
I do have a dial tracker, but honestly, I don't go by how many it takes me. I go by how many I need to until it gets done. Sometimes that's 100 dials. Sometimes it's 300 dials. My mentality is I go for 50 no's, 50 no's. If I get 50 no's and I don't get all my appointments, then I'm pretty much spent. But I rarely ever get to even 25 before I start booking my day. So I think a lot of times the dial tracker is going to help you keep focused, because we think that we just got a couple of declinations or people don't want to talk to you, and then you've only dialed like 10 numbers. So just continue to have that dial tracker in front of you. Like, okay, I've only done 50. You should go for 50 no's on average dial day. If you are into reading books, that's actually a good book too. It's called Go for No. Just put it out there.
And I have one more.
Sure.
Oh, God. My brain is just like Kali's. Good Lord.
Me too.
I found it. So you don't come from an background, okay? So, right?
I'm sorry, I don't come from, you cut out.
You don't have an insurance background, right?
No.
Okay. So when you started, just like for the newest member on the call, what are the things that you did to become proficient in the field with each carrier, writing business? How did you become better with no knowledge? Because some people, some of the new agents, they get licensed or they're already licensed and they've never written insurance before, or they were with a previous company, they didn't really do anything, right? And they may be just in their mind like, how the heck am I going to do this? I mean, I see so much stuff on Telegram, where
Right.
people are posting these names like, inked, inked, and is right. So how did you overcome that, that fear, and what helped? What are the things that you did to help you to become better in the field?
First of all, I didn't really know much. My product knowledge came from an upline that walked me through my first 100 appointments. I had an amazing upline, honestly, where I was able to there was an 800 number for agent calls. The greatest thing about FFL is if you want the questions, or if you have the questions, somebody's going to find the answers. It's just going out there, reaching out for them, right? So my upline, I would kind of give her my schedule the day in advance because she was out in the field running business too. And I do that actually now with my agents. I just kind of coordinate our schedules. And then that way, when they called me from the field and when I was calling her from the field, I was just kind of going through my scenario. You go in there, do your financial inventory. I learned that through just videos, watching videos with Paul McLean and all the other, there's so much out there on YouTube. FFL National has a really good channel. FFL USA has a really good channel. So just got plugged into that. I would watch my videos and then I would just kind of go into the appointment with the mindset that I'm just going to try to help and see what I can do. And then I just call her up and I'd say, okay, male, non-smoker, he has diabetes, a little bit of blood pressure, where can I place him? And then obviously her and I would know what carriers I have and what, so there's a game plan that goes with your upline, and you have to utilize that person for your success. That's what they're there for. That's why they get paid their overrides. So if you're not getting that out of your upline, it's a little hard, and reach out. A lot of people, because we're new, we feel like we just need a little bit of hand holding, but that's fine. We don't know though, unless you reach out. So reach out to the upline and just say, look, this is where my goals are. And that was very important. As I sat down and I said, okay, for my first, month, I want to get to $2,000 a week. I wasn't always at, these types of numbers. I started gradually into getting that. And what really got me comfortable, or uncomfortable, I should say, was door knocking. There was so much when I learned from door knocking, honestly, that catapulted me that much more, because you're right there and you're firing back. It's not just a matter of hanging up like the phones. I would hang up a lot of times if I got nervous or if there was some adversity in the phone, like it wasn't going my way. And I'll be like, all right, I'm just gonna, with face to face, you don't have that. So I made a lot of money off of my knuckles, honestly. I'm a lot better face to face. I just go out there and started door knocking, and that was the success. And they would walk me through it. And then once you get through your first 100 appointments, you pretty much know the people you're going to sit with. It's not going to vary much from there. And then of course you have somebody else that you could refer to.
I have a question.
Sure.
What do you say? You talked about door knocking. So what do you say? You also said that you got more comfortable in the business with door knocking. So what do you say when you door knock to them?
That's a great question. Very good question. So first of all, like today is my regular field day, and you guys will see I have my FFL shirt on. I usually will have a name badge. I have my folder and I have my iPad, and I just walk up to the door. I usually will have my lead on my iPad and I pull it up, because if it's direct mail or if it's something, whatever it is, I'm going to have something in my hand, and I'm just knocking at the door. As soon as somebody comes, I ask for whoever's on the lead, and I just kind of show them the lead, and I say, my name is Yola. I've been assigned to help you. It looks like the office is having a hard time reaching you, but there's a lot of robocalls. So I just kind of make it a little bit more, very nonchalant, if you will. Like, I was in the area, they have me out in the area for the next couple of days, and I'm on my way to the next appointment. I have about 20 minutes. Would you like me to take my shoes off, or can I just schedule you for another day? And 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh yeah, that's my handwriting. Oh yeah, sure. And because there's a lot of robocalls, they're going to get a lot of people that are going to, try to solicit them. And if you're going to be out there and do what that agent is not going to do, because most agents won't go out there and actually get in their face and say, we've been trying to reach you, we're here to help you, what can I do? It's not that hard, like I said. And 9 times out of 10, they're either going to invite you in right then and there, or they're going to ask you to come back. If they're not interested, they're not interested. You've just resolved your lead. I think of it as lead resolution. So I can't get hold of them over the phone. I need to resolve this lead. They're in front of me. It's for my release of liability is how I think about it, right? Because if God forbid something does happen, then it's on me because I didn't get the information on time. That's how you have to think about it. This is a task that we've been tasked with. These people asked for help. So if they didn't answer the phone, that's because we get bombarded. I mean, think about how many phone calls you get a day that you don't answer. And if people are getting more and more shied away from the phones, like they'll tell you straight to your face, if it's a number I don't know, I'm not going to answer it. No matter how many times you're going to call, you're going to leave me a message if it's that important, right? So getting out there and just kind of door knocking and saying that I'm here to help, what can I do? It gets you into the door 90% of the time, I would say. Just get uncomfortable enough. It's not about us.
So you consider the lead that you didn't like, if they told you I'm not interested, that you consider that as a resolved lead? Is that what you're saying?
If they're not interested at the door and I've actually made contact, I go for 2 rejections at the door. So if the first time, if they say, oh, I don't know who did that, then obviously I'm going to overcome that objection. Really? Because I have your information. I wouldn't have been here any other way. I don't normally stalk people for a living. So this is how I got you. Right. And then the second part of it is that, yes, you're resolving their lead. So just let them know that I'm here to resolve it. And whatever they say, if they say, again, go for 2 no's. If they say 2 no's, okay, I'm not going to press this upon you, but I will walk away with saying, okay, so just do me a favor and stop filling out these requests, because this is how people are going to come to your house. And I walk away like, what
that's
I mean?
awesome.
Like, it's not hard. Like, if you hadn't filled out this form, I wouldn't be here, sir. Trust me. It's Saturday. I'd be doing a lot better things with my life. But you asked for this information. My job is to get it to you. So how about we just give me about 15 minutes? Let me see what I can do. If not, then I'll walk away. But I got to at least show my boss that I tried to get in touch with you. And always say they. They have me in the area. They have me dispatched. They don't know who they is. Right? One thing I can give you that has helped me a lot in the last few weeks, because I just discovered this, is booking in the third person. So on the phone, I'm trying to be Rosa, who's my admin. So that way, if I do show up at the door, if I get adversity over the phone and we don't really have a good conversation, I can still show up to the door and be somebody else.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You got it. No problem. I saw another question, but I don't know how to get to that. Do you guys have anything else? I'm an open book, so whatever you need.
Hey, Yola. So someone asks, are your leads exclusively yours?
So if with the CRM, we have 3 weeks to resolve them in the CRM with FFL. And that's how you get the aged leads, is because an FFL agent never resolved it in the CRM, or never closed the account, or never closed it in the system. Does that make sense? So we have 3 weeks. Yes, I pay for exclusivity, but a lot of times an agent that's running the area after me will get them as well. It's all about placing your business, and we do run into each other, some FFL agents here out there, because there's about 10 agents that run in my area as well. So
let me ask you another question. So I know that you run between different states. When you're not in a particular state and you're having direct mailers come from another state and it's just on fire, I know you probably had that at one point, right? Do you have agents out there to resolve that, or do you handle them virtually, or do you set them up on the times that you're going out there?
I set them up on a time that I'm going out there. Let's say California is within a 3-hour drive from me right now. So I'll set California for one day, like 1 day a week where I'm going out there. It's a 3-hour drive going, 3-hour drive coming. So I usually will leave the house at 5 in the morning. My first appointment's at 8. I'll run till about 7 or 8 o'clock at night and I'll drive home. So, then I just alternate that because like I said, it really depends on where the leads are. Sometimes I get California a lot more than I get Reno, but this week Reno was crazy. So I'm in Reno for the next, probably 10 days. But as my leads are building there, I'm going to that area as I'm approaching it. So I go week by week. It really depends on where my leads come in and how I'm going to schedule my trips. I would say just to get uncomfortable with starting to travel, go like 3 hours out of it. You don't have to switch really necessarily states. Go 3 hours out of your comfort zone, or 5 hours out of it, somewhere where you can go and come back home in the same day, or just an overnight, or run 2 days really hard and then come home. That's a lot easier than, traveling 7 or 8 hours away from home and then not really knowing where you're running. Because there's a lot of planning that goes behind travel too. Like you got to know where your areas are. California is huge. So if I don't really know where my areas in my county is, you can be traveling for 2 hours between appointments. So I have to make sure that, I'm structuring correctly where I'm just not driving all day and getting no-showed, you see? So it's a little bit of a strategy, but once you get your first trip out there, then you'll start knowing what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And the great thing about our business is as long as you have an internet connection, you can get into any of your carriers. So I have my iPad, it's Verizon, it gets me all the service I need in all 50 states and I can go anywhere.
Nice. Let's see. Do we have any more? Does anybody have any more questions for Yolla? She is out there killing it. Oh, question. Yolla, do you have staff?
Do I have staff?
Yeah.
I have a staff agent that is helping me now. Okay. I haven't, honestly, I need to learn from you guys. Your team is killing it. But yes and no. I mean, I do a little bit. My staff does a lot more for me on the back end of things and on the recruiting side. But I run pretty much my own deal.
Okay. Another question for you.
Sure.
I know we have a lot of people on here too that are in a partnership, or they're, in a marriage with someone that's not necessarily in business with them. Is your husband in business with you? And if he's not, like, what are the conversations you have for him to feel comfortable enough? Because you're running so many different states and running back and forth. And to the average relationship, it could be, something that's negative, right?
Yeah.
But, how do you guys stay excited and motivated? He's comfortable with you doing that?
Well, first of all, that's a really good question because your spousal support is going to help you a lot. My husband didn't really support my other IMO ventures because he was like, what are you doing? Go to the mall and just talking to strangers, asking them about their shoes and about life insurance. Like, that's just not cool, Once I got with FFL though, like now he's an independently employed too. We had a appliance repair company when we met. So he's been self-employed for 15 years. He's used to the entrepreneurship part of things. He's actually trying to get rid of his business now and join me in the field and stuff. So yes, he's getting licensed and when we do travel, honestly, we have no kids together. His daughter lives in Massachusetts, which is why we're running in Massachusetts next month. And we'll go out there for 3 weeks. I'll run business. He'll get to spend time with her. It's a win-win for everybody, right? And plus I've hired 2 agents in Massachusetts. So it's more of an opportunity to just, go out there. But as soon as he gets licensed, you better believe it's both of us, just kind of dividing and conquering. We won't necessarily run in the same states all the time, which is why I'd like to avoid, I'd like to give him Idaho, California, stuff like that, and start going more on the other, there's 50 states out there. And thanks to Mr. Frank Euphemia, he just introduced me to a few agents in Hawaii. So, hey, the sky's the limit with this, you guys. You can do whatever it is that is gonna, get your goals and get your dreams out there. It's an incredible opportunity.
That is exciting. Oh my God, you're giving all the juice and the nuggets. Anybody else? Somebody has to have questions. Oh my gosh. All right, so we went over your lead flow. Let me ask you another question then, since nobody has any questions. There could be times in your business where you might deal with some adversity, whether it be in business or not, or in personal life. I know that you do you do meditation in the morning and different things like that. Is that to cure the adversity that you may go through, or just if you had a character day? We call it, guys, we don't call it a bad day, we call it a character day, right? What are some things that you do to overcome adversity that might be able to help someone else out that might be dealing with that and they don't know how to get out of it?
I like that you call it a character day. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start incorporating that.
I'm just being coachable.
Boy, we had some character days.
Like, I'm having a bad day. They're like, no, you're having a character day. Get your butt together.
Yeah, that's a great question. Prayer, meditation, yes. Here's the thing, it's not always going to be an easy day. Some days, that's why you're thankful for the good days, because it's not always an easy day. And I know that there's a lot of, it's encouraging to see social media out there and see all these people winning and stuff, but it does get to you when your business is not doing as well, right? Or if you're facing something that you can't kind of overcome. My prayer and obviously my belief in this, because if you don't believe in what you're doing, you're not going to be, it makes the bad days easier, because I believe in what I'm doing. I know we're going to have growth issues. I know we're going to have problems where it's just people are people. You're dealing with the human element. So there's a lot of that we can't control. What you can control is yourself. How you react to things, how you actually not let it bother you, where you waking up the next day and showing up for your business again. Because it's just, you have to just continue to show up. Just continue to show up. Sometimes it's half a day, it's showing up for 80% of it. Some days it's showing up for 100% of it. But as long as you're showing up, the numbers they always work out in your favor. And the greatest thing is we're just working with numbers. So you run through as many numbers as you can. That's going to equate into the bank account. It's inevitable as far as the math is concerned. This is the only opportunity I've seen that you don't have to be liked in order for, well, you do in your customers, you have to be a good person, but like, you don't have to suck up to your boss. You don't have to kind of have them like you so they can give you business or anything like that. Like, just go out there and help people and talk to anybody. And there's a need out there, you guys. There's over 70% of the country that's either underinsured or uninsured. So you think about that possibility of where we are and where how big you can scale it and how big you can get. It's incredible. You can tell how excited I get. Like, I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, I get to the office and it's ready. You know what I mean? Like, these are days of adversity, but then again, what else would I be doing?
What I do know is the worst day here, right? What's the saying? I know Kali knows. I always screw this up, guys. Don't judge me.
Our worst day here is the best. Would have been a really good month at another company.
Yeah. There you go, cloudy brain. All right, we got another question from Dean. He said, "How do you build rapport with your teammates that are out of town, and if they need to follow up or need to carry back for any reason?" I'm not sure about that last question, but how do you build rapport with your clients from out of town?
Well, I build the rapport right in the home. Once I sit there, I spend a few minutes on myself. When you're going through your opening statement, who you are, what you're there to do, and give them a little synopsis about yourself. And then as you're asking those questions, you're building that rapport. After that, I usually drip them with, if I have their emails, I have like a drip campaign. If you don't have lead squeezers or don't know what that is, let me know and I can get you hooked up. It's like a service that you can get where they drip your customers for you. They'll send them birthday cards. They'll send them happy anniversaries. They'll do all of that. And all you're really doing is just uploading it into their system. Once a week, I'll send out a card. But other than that, there's not a lot of hand holding in this type of business, is because, but they know that, God forbid, when something happens, call your agent. And then I have everything, like when my leave behinds, I have a policy summary that I leave behind. Here, I'll show it to you. And I put it on like bright paper, and I just basically give them a little synopsis about me, my phone number, anything that they need. So that way, and I attach my card to it as well. There's not a lot of reporting. As long as you tell them that you're their agent and that's what they're getting with you, they'll always reach out. I actually had a customer that I wrote in Chicago last year. He reached out last month and said, "I need another policy. What can you do?" So we wrote it over the phone because I wasn't about to fly to Chicago. But I mean, then once you get to know them and really earn their business, it's not a matter of just picking up the phone and talking to them or doing a Zoom. It's not hard. Think about them as your friends from out of state. Don't you do that for your friends that live in like other states?
That is awesome. That is awesome. Let's see. Does anyone else? Perfect. And yeah. All right. So that's all the questions I have. Kali, do you have? Oh, I have another question. So your bank account.
You gotta go there, Corinne.
I was like, I can't forget this question. The people want to know. They want amazing. You know, what does it look like? The cash flow for you month to month. I mean, what are you averaging? What's in there now? And you know, how much, you know, are you saving? I mean, you know, people, they don't want to know these questions because you make a lot of money here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do. And honestly, if you do, however, there's a lot that you account for in the business, right? Like your chargebacks and stuff and your taxes and average flow, I would say right now in my business account is about 25 to 29,000 on an average monthly. I do spend everything back into my business because I'm expanding in other areas. So I have been able to expand into California because of that. Is because California was a license and, you know, area. So I just expanding and putting it back in at this point. Everything that I make, I mean, I pay my bills. I'm comfortable, thank God. I mean, I don't eat, you know, wrong or anything. I have everything that sustains me, but everything else goes into my business. I know that this is what it's going to take at least for the next 2 to 3 years in order for me to get to that level. And, you know, integrity, not integrity, whatever it is, I'm building a foundation for an agency that's going to help agents in the long run. So this is kind of the business for right now. Other investments, I do like dabble in, like, you know, cryptos, like stocks a little bit, but the majority of where I put my stuff is back into my business.
And you're doing that, like, you don't necessarily have what you want yet, but you have an ending goal in mind that if I do this and I set my head down for the next couple years, that I can live the lifestyle that I want every day and not have to do what you're doing now. You don't have to hustle anymore. You don't have to, you know, you're going to be so far away from the client. You know, at this point, you're going to be telling your story and you won't have to do the things that you're doing now. And guys, just remember that. I know we have a lot of new people on the call. It may sound unattractive in the beginning that you have to pour all your money. You don't have to. This is a choice. Okay.
Yeah.
You're to pour all her money back in the business for a greater goal. Most people aren't willing to do that. And you got to remember, you got to do the things that other people aren't doing so that you can have the things that they can never have. And that's financial freedom. So we got a few more minutes.
I have one more question to close it. So Yola, because I was talking about this with somebody earlier, right? You know, after a period of time, when you come in here and let me put my camera on. You come in here and, you know, most people come in here are broke, right? Or they're barely making it, you know, and, you know, or, you know, barely making ends meet. And then, you know, because the thing that attracts people to life insurance initially is the money, right? And then you come here and then in a very short period of time, your financial situation changes. You have to have a why to keep working, right? Because you can get very comfortable because most people come here and they made more money. And this is, I'm talking to myself as well, right? Made more money than we've ever made in our lives, right? And so it can get, and like you said, it's not hard what we do, right? It's very simple. And if you do it for a while, you're like, man, why are we getting paid this much? Because this is easy, right? And so, you know, but you got to, what's your why? Like, why do you keep going every day at the level that you're going, right? Because if you don't have that why, after you get to your financial situation has changed, you kind of like, and I'm guilty of it myself, you know. So what's the reason? What keeps you going every single day? What's your bigger purpose, your bigger goal here?
That's a great question, Kali. Yes, you're right. I mean, you make a lot of money in this business and then you're like, oh, this is always going to coast. To me, my why is, this is great, but this is not my ultimate destination. You know, this is just a part of where I want to be for the rest of my life. So my why is building a foundation, building something that's going to be solid, that's going to sustain. My agents are a big part of my why. There's people out there that are still struggling. And listen, I've been there. I mean, I was Ubering before I was FFL. I was, you know, I had to do a few things that I had to, you know, we all pay our bills somehow. And we can't really rely on much. So you go through those trials, I think, to make you better. And when you do get to that place, you reach out and you've helped people that are actually were in that struggle before, before, when you were, if that makes sense. Like, we all go through that struggle. It's kind of part of the journey, I feel like. But my why is why I'm doing it. Like, first of all, there's families that need my help. Like we talked about the statistics, there's people out there that just don't have any better options. You think about, I don't want to name any other companies, but their agents are making 25% comp. We can do so much better for them at FFL. We have the best products in the industry. So when we do sit with our customers, I'm not just giving you a term policy. I'm not just giving you this where, it's my, what's going to happen to my pocketbook. I'm truly doing what's best for my customers. And that's what drives me every day, is because when you do sit with, Bob and Mary, and they would just want to cover each other, that's what makes it all worth it. You're going to have to come back to this family one of these days. Just make sure you're doing the best for them. I hope that answered it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Yolla, because we wrap it up in an hour. We don't play any games. Thank you so much for your time this morning, lady. We really appreciate it. Everybody on the call, the recording of the call will be available on the FFL Fury YouTube page on Monday. So subscribe, like, and share that page, guys. That's how we're going to grow. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you again, Yolla. Have a great week to you as well. And we'll talk soon. Love you guys. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for having me. Bye, guys.